Hey guys, welcome back to the channel of Jimmy is Promo. Today is February 20th and Samsung just pushed off the Samsung One UI 5.1 update to more devices. Now this update started being pushed out about 7 to 10 days ago. It really just depends on what country you live in. Also depends on if you have a carrier locked device or unlocked device. So I live here in the United States. This one is unlocked from Samsung.com directly, and I ordered this one on pre-order day. So this one in terms of the assembly line was right off the get-go, and it's unlocked. And I just mentioned that because a lot of people always ask how mine always comes so much quicker than others when it comes down to updates. So this one's fairly large. We're going to go through this changelog so you can see what is brand new from going from 5.0 to 5.1. Now this is a lateral move, a lot of refinements going on with some of these cool features that they added in. We're not going from Samsung One UI 5 to One UI 6, but we are going to that 0.1. So we're going to go through everything that is new. We'll take a look at a few things even when this is done here. This one is giving you your security patch. So you'll have your security patch of February 1st. The size is fairly large. It's 2,115 megabytes. Normally with every monthly update, that security patch update, these are right around 230 or 250 megabytes. So you can see it's very large, but you can see exactly every single thing that has been added or improved. Now this version ends in CWAI. So all we're going to do is we're going to go through, we're going to hit on download, then we're going to take a look inside of the Galaxy Store to see if there's additional applications we can now update because we are running the latest, 5.1. And if you would like to see where this update is at, all you would have to do is just go right inside of your settings. What you're going to do is scroll all the way down to where it says software update, and you just go to download and install, and you're going to find it there. Now this one is for the S22 series, so if you own any of those S22 devices, make sure you guys take a look. This one should be being pushed out, maybe hopefully for the S20 and the S21 very soon. I don't know exactly the launch date of those. Also too, it's fun. After you update your phone, and it completes, you can actually go right here to the last update. So you can see the last update we did was exactly 1 month ago on January 20th. You can read what is new. So after you update your phone, if you're ever curious on what is new and you forget this entire list, you can simply go back to that page and you can see everything that is new. But it's at this point in the video, I'd like to state that if you're brand new here at the channel, Jimmy is Promo, you appreciate these tips, tricks, tutorials, and the latest information on your Samsung Galaxy devices, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications to get notified for all future videos. And so some people may be wondering what exactly is the difference from 5.0 to 5.1 and why did we just now get the 5.1 update? Well, basically the Galaxy S23 series, which I have right here, this one is running on Samsung One UI 5.1 out of the box, and there's some newer features a part of that phone. This update here will be giving you some of those features that's on the S23 series, such as, you can quickly change the color tone for selfies just right from the get-go inside of the camera, so you don't have to go through the settings to do it. Expert RAW is going to be built with inside of the camera modes. So then this way you don't have to have that additional application from the Galaxy Store. So my Expert RAW is sitting over here. I had to go in the Galaxy Store to download it. Now it's just going to be sitting inside of your gallery. So we're going to let this thing finish its update, and we're going to go through this entire thing to let you know everything that is new. So the update is done and complete, and one of the nice little updates that you have up here is going to be from Samsung Tips. So if you would like to learn more about what is new on your Samsung phone, or maybe you just bought a brand new Samsung Galaxy device, you want to see what is there, if you look for this little app right here, this is when it's pre-installed. It's called Samsung Tips or just Tips. When you go inside of there, you'd be able to see every single thing. We'll take a look at that here in a minute, but we're just going to go inside of the changelog really quick, and I can show you where you can read everything once it's already updated. So you go back inside of the software update, you go back to where it says last update, but you have to make sure everything is fully complete before this actually gives you the entire list. So here's the changelog that we're going to take a look at, but I also want to let you know that if you own the Galaxy Z Fold 4 or the Z Flip 4, this update was also pushed out as well. So this is the Fold 4. You can see we're getting, the 5.1 update as well. This one's giving you that security patch of February 1st. The size is 2046, and this version will end in CWAC. So again, It's not only just the Galaxy S22 series. I took a look at this as the Galaxy S22 Ultra was updating. I took a look at the Fold 4, and there was the update. So more than just one series is getting this update. So now let's go through this full entire changelog. So for the gallery and camera, so you can quickly change the color tone for selfies. It's easier to change the color tone of your selfies using the effects button at the top of your screen. So let's say that you go inside of your camera over here. Now, normally where your little settings would be for your face tone would be up over here inside of the settings. It'd be inside of this selfies area, so it looks as if it was taken away. Now, right before this update, it was sitting right inside of here to change your tone for selfies. Now it's going to be up here on the very top right hand side, and then you click on face, and then this is where it's right there. On the very bottom, you have off, so there's basically your smoothness, the tone, jawline, eyes, things like that. So the tone is going to be sitting there, and then smoothness will be sitting there. You can either have it on or off, and then there's some of the filters, things like that. So I'm going to move on back. So it's all going to be up in the effects button on the top right-hand side. Now, next up is going to be Expert RAW, as we mentioned from before. So now instead of it being an application, so I'm going to see if it's actually still sitting there. So Expert RAW was sitting here. It's actually still sitting there, but now you'd be able to go inside of your camera. You're going to switch over into More. And now Expert RAW is on the very top left-hand side. Same thing with the Galaxy S23 series. Expert RAW is sitting up there. Again, you can move all of these down if you want to, so you can add some in. So if you'd like to customize, what is actually sitting down here, you'd be able to move these, into this little modes line, and you can hit on save, and so they're sitting there. Now, Expert RAW is really cool. It adds a lot of really cool features. So if you really want to take some amazing shots, you're able to. So inside of here, you're going to have multiple exposures. So multiple exposures is a way that you can either have your shutters as continuous or manual. You can have an overlay of add, average, bright, dark, and you can change how many exposures is going to be a part of that image. So instead of you just having one exposure when you take a picture, you can now have multiple. And then here's the astrophotography. So this is actually really cool. I didn't know for a fact that astrophotography was going to be a part of this, and now it is actually sitting there. So I'm super excited, and this is super dope. I just created a video, uploaded it the other day. I'm talking about all of the camera features you're able to do. So this is just an overlay of the constellations. So if you want to take some shots at night, you can take some really cool pictures. So now we have astrophotography. You can also switch, how long you want the duration to happen. If you want it to take the picture for 4 minutes, 7 minutes, or 10 minutes. So really cool that not only are you getting Expert RAW built inside of your modes of the camera, but now you have a bunch of these features that came from the Galaxy S23 now onto your S22. And then you also have some of these settings sitting here. So special photo options, this is a labs thing. You can also take a look at a few other stuff. So tracking autofocus if you want it on or off. If you do tracking autofocus, sometimes it will gray out a few of the other options when it comes down to taking photos. So keep that in mind. Down here, this is where you can add in some saved default settings. So if you'd like to maybe create one that is for nightography, you can do that. So really nice. So here is Expert RAW, a part of the modes, but you also get your multiple exposures as well as astrophotography. So that's a pretty big deal when it comes down to the camera there. More powerful search. So you can now search your gallery for more than one person or subject at a time. Enhanced image remastering. So remastering does more to make your pictures look great by removing shadows, reflections. You can also remaster GIFs for better resolutions and clarity. And you can also preview, or the preview has also been improved to make it easier to compare the original with the remaster. So if we go inside of the camera, let's just say that we take a regular image here. So here's a picture. What you'd be able to do is on the bottom, you'd be able to now remaster the photo. And now you're going to have a little slider if it's the same as the S23 series. So now you can have a slider. You can move it left or right. You can see what was before and what was after. So here's the after and here's the before. Now, sometimes, it does a better job. Sometimes it doesn't. It just kind of depends on the situation. This one, when I took the picture, I meant for it to actually look really well. This one just kind of brightened it up a little bit. So you are able to have a better, more clear, direction of exactly what is being changed when it comes down over into your remasterings. Let's see here. So go down here, you can create a shared family album. It's easier than ever to share pictures with your family. Gallery will recommend pictures to add to your shared family album, but recognizes the faces of family members you select. You get 5 gigabytes of storage for each family member, and it's up to 6 people. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to take a look at this one later on. This one is probably one that's packed enough for its own video. Revamped info display. So when you swipe up, after you're viewing your picture. So basically when you take a picture and you're taking a look at it, when you swipe up, it's going to give you more details. So you can see when and where the picture was taken, which device took the picture, where the picture is stored, and more, which is, a pretty big deal. You can also see probably information such as the ISO, shutter speed, things like that. For multitasking, so you can easily minimize or switch to full screen. You can now minimize or maximize app window without going to the options menu. Just drag one of the corners. So I think that is self-explanatory when you're inside of, if you want to minimize or maximize your app window, you just swipe it from a corner. Access the most used apps in split screen. So when you start a split screen view, the apps you most often use will show up below the recently used apps to help you find the apps you need faster. Improved multitasking in Dex. Now, I'm not a big Dex user, but in split screen view in Dex, you can now drag the divider in the center of the screen to resize both windows. You can also snap a window to one of the corners to make it fill a quarter of the screen. Modes and routines. You can change wallpapers based on your mode. So you can set a different wallpaper based on your current activities. So you can choose a wallpaper for work, one for exercising, and more. So if you use Bixby routines, then you can actually set wallpapers for what you're doing. So if you're at work, you have a different wallpaper. When you're at the gym, a different wallpaper. There's more actions for routines. New actions let you control quick share and touch sensitivity, change your ringtone, and change your font style. Now, next up is going to be the weather section. So quick access to useful information, check severe weather alerts, daily weather summaries, sunrise, sunset times at the top of the weather app. The temperature graph now uses colors to show how the temperature changes throughout the day. Hourly precipitation graph. An hourly graph now shows how much precipitation has fallen at different times of the day. Summary on weather widget. So you get a brief summary of the current weather conditions will now appear on the weather widget to let you know if it's sunny, cloudy, raining, or snowing. So, I have this one that's sitting right up here. This is what this one looks like. You have a little bit of details here. You have some details sitting here. As you scroll down, you can see, UV index, sunrise, sunset, stuff like that. Now, let's say that we move on back. Let's take a look at a couple other widgets really quick. So if we go up on the very top and let's say that we just search for weather. So here's weather sitting right here. You have these ones. So partly sunny, you can have the city name there. You have this one. So let's see, I wonder if there's anything specific. So here's the weather forecast, pretty much what I already have. Let's say that we just bring this one on in. I don't know what all fully changed. This one kind of looks a little similar. I feel like if there was more going on outside, then there would be more details kind of letting us know not only there, but also in this little area here, or maybe in this area on the very top. Again, it's not raining. There's no inclement weather. There's really nothing going on. So there's none of those things that it kind of talked about. So now let's go back inside of the settings. Samsung Internet. Continue browsing on another device. If you're browsing on the web on one Galaxy phone or tablet and later open the Internet app on another Galaxy device that's signed in to the same Samsung account, a button will appear that now lets you open the last web page you were viewing on the other device. Now, I don't really use Samsung Internet. I always use Chrome, just as a heads up for you guys. Improved search. Your searches now include the names of bookmarks, folders, and tab groups. Improved search logic lets you find what you're looking for, even if it's something isn't spelled correctly, which is pretty nice. And then here's all the additional changes. So let Bixby take your calls. Use Bixby text call to answer calls automatically and find out why the person is calling. You'll see what the other caller says in a text chat, and you can tap or type responses that will be read aloud to the caller. Bixby text call is only available in English and Korean. Now, this is just basically sounding exactly like what the Google Pixel devices do. So when someone calls you, you can actually have the Google Pixel go with it and basically answer the call for you, mention that you're not there just yet. And as they're stating something, you can see who it is, what they're saying, and then you can even answer the phone call or write back. Check the battery level of your devices. The new battery widget lets you check the battery level of your devices right from the home screen. You can see how much battery is left on your phone, the Galaxy Buds, the Galaxy Watch, the S Pen, and other supported devices. So let's take a look over at battery. I want to go inside, see if, what widgets we have. So I wonder if we just type in battery. So here we go. We got battery. There's 2 options. Hey, this is what it looks like. So we have this status option, or we have this status option. So here's the list, and then here's basically just images. So if I was to place this one right here, let's see, Galaxy Watch 3 and earlier. The Galaxy Watch 3 and earlier and some Bluetooth devices won't be shown in the widget. For earbuds, only Galaxy Buds 2, Buds 2 Pro, and newer models can show their charging status in the widget. So let's see here. So this is pretty much all we have. So right now it's gonna be my phone and my watch because those are currently connected. Now, if I had my Galaxy Buds opened, I'd be able to see where they're at as well. So when I'm at the gym, I'd be able to simply look right here to see exactly where it's sitting. So I do like this widget. I'm gonna move this one over here, and it's not actually that big. It's gonna fit right in this spot pretty well. So now I can see where my battery is of my phone, and then also for my watch, which is super helpful. So yeah, that widget's actually pretty nice. That one is one of my favorite ones so far for the additional changes. You can use up to 3 emojis in AR emoji camera. Take fun pictures and videos with your friends in mask mode. You can assign a different emoji to a different person's face. So if you ever play with AR emoji on your camera, usually it shows 1 or 2 people. Now you can have up to 3 people having a different face or image over their head. Settings, suggestions. So while signed into your Samsung account, suggestions will appear at the top of the settings screen to help you share, connect, and enhance your experience across your Galaxy devices. Spotify suggestions. So if you're a Spotify user, the Smart Suggestions widget now recommends Spotify tracks and playlists based on your current activity. Get the perfect tunes for driving, exercising, and more. To get suggestions, you need to sign in to a Spotify account in the latest version of the Spotify app. So now there's Spotify part of the Smart Suggestions widget, which is pretty cool. Again, it's just giving you suggestions based on what you do. And now it's not only just your phone and your apps, but now it's something within your app, which is now Spotify. Now, I don't use Spotify. I use YouTube Music. I've tried Spotify for a few months. For some reason, the curation of YouTube Music was just perfect for me. And right here, choose where to save screenshots and screen recordings. You can now change the folder where screenshots and screen recordings are saved. So now that we've taken a look at this entire change log, one of the things you could do now is go inside of your Samsung Tips. So there's a little notification that popped up right here, or you just open up the Tips application that I showed you from before. So One UI 5.1, check the status level of all of your devices. Use that battery widget. So we just got done talking about that. So if I took my S Pen out of the phone, it will let me know how much battery is left on the S Pen. Same thing as I was talking about, with my buds. If I had them connected, and actually actively using them, I can see the battery levels. Listen where you want. You can switch audio output from earbuds to speakers to your phone to all of the media output panel. You can play music on multiple Wi-Fi devices at the same time. So you can basically, as you're listening to something, simply switch where that output is going. Find great lock screen wallpapers. Get the wallpaper library directly to your lock screen and choose from a wide variety of wallpapers to suit your style. So that's pretty cool. Match your display colors with your wallpaper. Now you can also create custom call backgrounds for people. So make personalized call backgrounds for the people you talk to the most in the phone and contacts app. So through the phone and contacts app, just go through the edit and you can actually add in a background for whenever they call back in, which is pretty cool. Change modes based on your activity. Now, just so you know too, anytime you ever want to try any of these, just hit the try it button. On some of these where there is a lot of stuff you have to do, this one's just kind of self-explanatory. But when it comes down to this one, you can try it. You can try that one. It'll take you directly to where they're talking about. You can organize your home screen with stacked widgets. Now we talked about stacked widgets from before. That was something that was new on Samsung 5.0. Easy access to connected devices. Customize your GIFs. So I might want to play with this one too because you can change the resolution and quality. Control app notifications. We've talked about this one from before with 5.0 where you can control app notifications if you want to see them entirely. If you want to just see a dot, or something on the very top. Keep your phone running smoothly. Set your phone to restart automatically when needed to keep it at its best. So it'll take you directly to the settings of where you're able to get that done. Check your security and privacy, set multiple timers, show your mood on your calendar, get help quickly with emergency SOS, answer calls without saying a word. So here's that Bixby text to call thing, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm really glad that it kind of shows what it looks like. You can actually go inside of the settings, which we might do that after we read, number 18. Use your bookmarks on your computer and learn about 5.0. So you can learn more about 5.0 if you want to, because now this shows you everything for 5.1. So let's say that we go to settings, Bixby text call. So I can now turn this one on, and then I'll just have to download this little additional pack. So basically I can do it later. So it answers calls without saying a word. Bixby will ask the caller why they're calling. You'll see what they say in the text chat. Then you can type or tap responses that Bixby will read aloud to the caller. So that's pretty cool. I might play with that one a little bit later on. Again, I'm going to go back inside of tips. I'm going to go straight to settings, and it's going to take me directly there. Now, the last thing that I mentioned that you also want to take a look at is going to be inside of your Samsung Galaxy Store. So now that you are running 5.1, you might want to take a look to see what is new. Some of these apps kind of updated right before I did this because I noticed I had 5 sitting in here, and now there's only 2. So right now here is multi-control, so we can update that one. And then camera assistant. Oh yeah, we could take a look at camera assistant inside of the camera. So it supports new features, for the Galaxy S23, the S22, the S21, the S20, the Fold 4, and Flip 4, as long as you're running on 5.1. So we're going to update this one as well. And then I'm going to go inside of the camera, take a look at camera assistant, and then we can finish this video. This is a pretty long video. Hopefully you guys got some popcorn. So we're going to go inside of the camera. We're going to go inside of the settings. And so now we're just going to scroll down over inside of camera assistant. So now we're going to have some additional features here. So here's picture softening. This one originally was either a toggle. So it's either on or off. Now you have the additional option. So it's either off, medium, or high. So that's one of the changes with this update. Quick tap shutter. So this way, when you tap on the shutter, it takes the picture instead of waiting for you to lift off. For capture and speed, originally it's on prioritize quality. So you can also do the option of balance speed and quality if you want to take a faster picture, a little bit less quality, or you just want to prioritize speed specifically. And so now the quality of the image will go down, but the capture speed is way up. So if you're doing crazy events where things are going really fast, maybe it'll take some really good photos for you, or you can just keep it as prioritized. So when you take a picture, you can change the capture speed based on how you would like it to look. If you want better quality, you might as well just keep the top option. This one's pretty cool too. Timer multi-options. So originally, you'd be able to choose it if it's just 3 images, 5, or 7, and you didn't have the option to change your intervals. On 5.1, with the updated camera assistant, you can now put the intervals in between the pictures. So if you want to take maybe 5 pictures, so when you go in your camera app and you tap on timer, and your timer's either at 2 seconds, 5, or 10, so maybe at 2 seconds, it's going to take the picture. Well, now it's going to take 5, and the intervals is going to be 2 seconds in between, or 1.5. So this way, if you want to take a bunch of photos, different poses, different faces. So now when you're using your timer in your camera, you are now able to have multiple images, and you can set the intervals in between. Camera timeout wasn't there from before. So now you can have your camera timeout after 1 minute. So this way you're not going to waste your battery. So it'll time out of the camera in 1 minute, goes back to the home screen, and then it's just now based on whatever you have your phone set as for timeout. This is also new. Dim screen while recording. So let's say that you are recording a video, and after a full minute, it'll actually dim the screen so you're still recording, but you're using less battery. So it's going to dim the screen, still keep recording while using less battery, which is really cool. And then you can clean previews on HDMI displays, which means if you connect your phone to an external display, all of that stuff that is on your camera right here, all of this is not going to show on that external display. It's only going to show a full, clear image of what you are seeing. So that is everything that I wanted to show off. We went through the Samsung Tips application. We took a look at the entire changelog. We read through everything. I showed a few things. We took a look at the Galaxy Store. So that's everything you need to know about this latest update, 5.1. Again, you'd be able to read the changelog, or when you're finished, go inside of Tips And now you can read more about 5.1 or 5.0. So you can just, read stuff here. There's a bunch of different categories. You have the little notifications on the top. Here you can discover the new features. So here's all the new features we just got to. But hopefully you guys appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.